Hello there, Cardano Nation. Welcome back to Dapp Central. My name is Fareed, and in today's video, I've got a string of announcements here surrounding some Cardano community-specific events, which will be rolling out throughout the remainder of 2023. That includes the Cardano Summit, as well as some upcoming seminars, which I'll be discussing with you guys in just a moment. I also want to talk about the latest episode of Cardano 360, and then following that, I want to jump into some updates surrounding the ADA handle standard and the fact that they've now released a brand new roadmap taking us to the end of 2023. After that, I want to talk to you guys about NMKR and the fact that they now have a brand new custom marketplace feature, which has now gone live. In closing of today's video, I want to briefly touch on the Eternl wallet, some milestones that they've just recently hit, and some brand new concepts that they're working on for their updated version of their wallet. Now, that said, let's go ahead and jump straight into our very first topic here, which is going to be surrounding Cardano events. Now, the first one that I want to touch on is going to be the Cardano Summit. As you guys can see here, the early bird special is getting ready to sell out. If you guys are not aware, the Cardano Summit is going to be a yearly event, which is all going to be focusing on the ecosystem. And so if you guys want to support the Cardano community, then definitely make sure to check this out, which will be taking place in Dubai. Now, this is going to be taking place between November 2nd and November 4th. Now, if I jump over into the official website here, we've got a pretty cool updated website. They update this actually every single year. And I just want to mention that if you're not able to attend in person, that they do also have a community-led event, which basically takes place in, I believe, 50 different host cities. So no matter which country you're in, I would definitely recommend checking out the community-led events. I believe they had some not only in North America, they had some in South America, Africa, Asia, etc., all last year. Now, in closing, I also want to mention that they also have a virtual event, which also takes place online. So if you're not able to make it in person or at the community-led events, you can still attend virtually. Now, I'm going to be pushing for the Future Fest team to hopefully be able to host this virtually for us, given the fact that they just really proved themselves as a part of the farmers market event. If you guys somehow missed that particular event, I do have a live stream, which I'll leave a link to down below, but it was a pretty cool event in which we saw some of the top projects in Cardano in terms of NFT projects show up. And we also even had some different music artists, and they just had just a ton of different events taking place within the Future Fest metaverse. And so last year we had Virtua hosting it, but again, this year I'm hoping that we can kind of move the reins or pass the reins over to Future Fest, given how wonderful of a job they just did with the recent Future Fest farmers market. Again, check out my video surrounding that. It was really just a simple experience. It was easy to get access to it. You can actually pick up their Future Fest bots on jpeg.store. You can use them as avatars within their metaverse. They supported video chat. They supported voice chat with proximity. It was really overall a enjoyable event, which again, I was excited to take a part of there. Now, jumping back into the additional events that I want to cover here for today's Cardano Scoop, there is going to be a Cardano blockchain for social impact seminar taking place and being hosted by the Cardano Foundation. So this will include a ton of different platforms that are all pushing for social activism within the ecosystem. Now, this will be taking place on May 11th at 1400 UTC. The next event that I want to touch on is going to be one that has recently rebranded. Now, you guys may know this as CNFTCon, but it has now rebranded to NFT LV. So what we're now going to see is them really push to be included by the broader NFT space and just kind of stop focusing solely on Cardano. So I think they're doing this to appeal to more people to attend the event, which will be taking place, I believe, towards the last week of September of 2023. So it reads here, we're excited to announce that CNFTCon is now NFTXLV. Our rebranding reflects our mission to showcase the best of Web3 culture and our commitment to elevating the community. Get ready to join us at the intersection of art, technology, and creativity. They've also updated the website, so if you want to access it, it's now going to be nftxlv.com, which I've got pulled up here in a separate tab. In terms of some of the features you can expect to receive here at the event, that includes, the general admission weekend ticket, which right now is going to be going for $40. They've also got some early bird pricing going on for their premium package, which would normally be $160, but right now you can get it for $40 off, which includes some premium swag features. In closing, they've got the diamond package as well, which is also undergoing their early bird special, in which that would normally be worth about $1,000, but right now you can get it at a $400 discount. And that not only includes everything that you get within the premium package, but they've also got some diamond package NFT swag, as well as some worthless Husky token. Now, that is going to take us through the first 3 events that I wanted to touch on here. Next, I want to quickly touch on the recent episode of Cardano 360. If you guys are not already following this particular series, it's going to be a series of videos released by IOG, and they're actually going to be led by Tim Harrison, who we have on screen here, who's going to be the VP of Community and the ecosystem. Now, as a part of this particular update, they highlighted the recent launch of the Lace Wallet V1, in which we had an interview by Alex right there. And then they also talked about ZK Tech, Hydra's progress on the mainnet, as well as Web3 gaming featuring Sebastian Guillemot, which we see right there, talking about Paima Gaming. Now, Paima has just had a slew of announcements here in which they've announced that not that they're only partnering with Globant, but they're also going to be partnering with the Genius X team and the Dead Pixels NFT project. Now, at the very end of that particular Cardano 360 episode, we did hear from Frederick Regard, who they showed there earlier, who's going to be the head of the Cardano Foundation, in which he basically reviewed their annual report. So make sure to check these out. They are hosted again every month. They're extremely helpful in keeping us updated as to all the going-ons within the Cardano ecosystem. And very lastly, I mean, you're hearing it directly from IOG. All right, everybody, that's going to take us through our very first update segment there for today's Cardano Scoop. Next, I'm excited to talk to you guys about the ADA handle standard and their brand new roadmap that has just been released. So this team is fired up and they're excited to be releasing their brand new roadmap for 2023. And if you guys are not familiar with ADA handles, they're going to be an NFT powered naming solution, which allows for us to quickly send or receive on any Cardano wallet. So as a part of this, they've now released a roadmap for Q2, Q3, and Q4 of 2023. So what I want to do is briefly break down what we can expect here moving forward. So they've already teased out the fact that they're going to be releasing a personalization dashboard, which will allow for us to change the background, the PFP, and some of the social media tags associated with your handle. As a part of that particular announcement, I believe that they announced that the Goat Tribe, the Claymates, and there's one other collection that I cannot recall right now, will be some of the first collections that you'll be able to use for the personalized features, but they do plan on allowing for the greater community to vote on which projects in terms of PFPs and backgrounds that we will want to see integrated moving forward. So number one, it says next week we're going to be pushing to get personalization into pre-production and allow some of our users to test the platform. We're aiming at that point for the second or third week of May to fully deploy the personalization feature. So I'm going to be excited to see that. I'm going to have some tutorials here for you guys breaking down how you guys can customize your ADA handles and basically take advantage of all their features. Again, leveraging SIP number 68, which we'll touch on here in just a moment. Now, moving into the second bullet point, post-launch, we will begin to build an in-house personalization marketplace and begin building out the sub-handle protocol. Now, personalization will enable handles to utilize DIDs or decentralized IDs and domains, which will be associated with some kind of URL, and we will begin to perform research on how to best implement these features. Now, as it relates to subhandles, I'm going to touch on those here in just a minute, but that's going to be another portion coming here that we can expect from the ADA handle team. Now, in Q3 of 2023, they're going to be shipping the subhandle protocol, and they're going to be shipping the personalization marketplace alongside the subhandle profit sharing for root handle owners. In closing, and this is going to be probably the biggest update here, they're going to be beginning research and development of an entirely new concept that is yet to be implemented within this industry. They're going to be calling this peer-to-peer renting. So this is going to be huge here, allowing you to basically take advantage and earn income from renting out your ADA handle. Now, P2P renting eliminates one central naming registry by allowing each handle owner the option to rent out their handle, and the era of financializing your handles is officially coming. So again, if you own some rare handles and you want to be able to leverage that without necessarily giving them completely away, there's going to now be a way to rent them out. Now, what I'm wondering is, when you rent it out, how are they going to be able to ensure exactly that you get it back, right? Because you could have somebody that rents out your ADA handle and then maybe just loses the keys to the whatever wallet the ADA handle is rented out to, etc. So I'm hoping that they're going to have some kind of insurance in there, but I'm also wondering if it's going to be done in some kind of way where the owner continues to still keep the handle, but it's somehow then maybe minted, or the rights to it are given out to somebody else. Again, that has yet to be seen, but they're currently researching this, and I'm excited to hear all about this once it officially launches. So that is going to be the brand new updated roadmap. Again, in Q2, we're going to get personalization. In Q3, we're going to expect the subhandle protocol as well as the personalization marketplace. And then as a part of Q4, they're going to be beginning researching and rolling out of their P2P renting protocol. Now, moving into the subhandles, I want to briefly touch on the two versions, which the first is going to be the NFT subhandle, and then the second is going to be a virtual subhandle. So in this example, we have DAO or DAO, which is going to be the main root handle. And then we've got John at DAO, and then Sophie at DAO, which will be considered as the subhandles. So it states, similar to the root handle, the address tied with the NFT subhandle gets full ownership of it, and the root handle or the issuer loses all rights to the handle and will not be able to retrieve it back without the goodwill of the current owner. So with this example, if you're minting a subhandle using an actual NFT, that will be a physical quote unquote NFT that the receiver actually gets to keep directly within their wallet. If they don't want to give it back, they don't have to. But again, keep in mind that there's going to be two versions of subhandle. So that's going to be the first one, which is going to be the NFT subhandle. Now, this next section here touches on the virtual subhandle. So this is going to be a little bit different than the NFT subhandle. However, as a part of this example, we're still going to be using DAO as the main root handle, and then we're going to have John DAO and Sophie DAO again as the subhandles. Now, a virtual subhandle, right, can be minted and assigned to an address via smart contract, and it allows the issuer or the root handle to keep control over the subhandle and retrieve it or reassign it to any other address at any time. So with the virtual subhandle, the receiver will not actually have a NFT directly inside their wallet. This will be managed via a smart contract, at which point the owner can retrieve that back at any time. So for example, think if you're working for a protocol or project and they want to provide you or assign you a virtual handle, given that you could potentially leave a year or two down the line. Well, once you do leave, or if you do leave that project, they can basically regain access to that NFT without having to fight or badger you for it. So the NFT version of the subhandle, again, will give full access or ownership to the holder, while the virtual will still give access or ownership to the root handle. Now, the last thing I want to touch on here surrounding ADA handles is going to be a recent conversation that took place between Conrad, Papa Goose, and Kongzi within their Discord. So Kongzi asked, what can we expect in terms of personalization in the next 4 to 5 years? Let me blow this up here, and I just want to kind of read this off to you guys very quickly. So Conrad responds, imagine the following. Number one, you're sending payments to Conrad or $Conrad, and you receive an OAuth verified Twitter account from that wallet, having a certain degree of assurance that the $Conrad ADA handle account actually owns that Twitter account. Number two, you're sending a payment to Acme, and Acme is an accredited KYC company that has a digital identity issued to it. So the wallet returns all this information to you. So that's two use cases right there. Number three, you're sending a payment to John, and John has his PFP setup, probably using the customization dashboard. So you're then able to see his PFP as feedback again in the wallet. Number four, you're researching the owner of the Blade handle as you want to do business with them, and you can now access that information on any explorer, which includes C Explorer, Cardano Scan, etc. And as a part of that, Cardano Scan or the C Explorer returns you all of their contact information, which includes their email, website, etc. In closing here, imagine you're using a chat application that relies on a handle encryption feature or a public key for your end-to-end encryption. Thus, you can chat with anybody in the world using the blockchain and your handles, and only those that have the keys can actually view those messages. Now, they've also got some additional examples down here. For the sake of time, I'm not going to highlight those, but those are just 5 brief examples of how we can leverage ADA handles moving forward. So I'm extremely bullish on this particular team, what they're doing and the direction that they're headed in. And if you guys actually want a full video, I did get to interview Goose at CNFTCon or Rare Bloom last year, in which he talked about the future visions for their platform. In closing, we can now see that there's over 200,000 custom Cardano addresses minted and counting. And keep in mind that they do have a rarity system associated with it. So some of the shorter handles and some of the early adopters of ADA handles, I think we'll see the greatest returns here moving forward. That's going to do it there for that big update. Again, thank you guys for bearing there with me. There was just so much information I wanted to catch up on when it comes to ADA handles. Now, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. It's one of the easiest ways here to support the channel, and it helps to get this content out to other members within the Cardano community. Additionally, I am a single stake pool operator operating the official Dapp Central Stake Pool. And if you guys want to support me on my mission to educate the broader Cardano community, then consider delegating with the stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Moving into the next story, I want to touch on NMKR, which I've been covering here for quite a bit of time. Now, what I want to highlight is going to be the fact that they now have a brand new custom NFT marketplace feature. So they're already providing NFT minting and smart contract provisioning services. They're also providing NFT sales services, where if you want to basically have a mint, you can leverage NMKR, but they're now also providing a brand new feature to create your own marketplace if you choose to do so. So you can now build your own marketplace in just a few clicks, and get this, it's all completely free. So this is going to be very similar to what we have with Shopify. If you don't want to leverage, for example, jpeg.store or plutus.art or even flipper.io, and you just want to build your own marketplace to sell things that are specific to your niche, you can now do that using this free tool. So Patrick here from NMKR, who's going to be the founder, basically breaks this down in an 18-minute video, which I'll leave the link to their Twitter page down below if you guys want to find out more about this feature. But again, the fact that it's free and the fact that the majority of their services are pretty much free is extremely exciting. And this is a big step here for the space in general. Jumping over into the next tab, I want to briefly touch on some of the benefits here of leveraging this brand new custom marketplace feature. Number 1, you can customize the look and feel of your store. Number 2, you can curate the collections available. Number 3, you can aggregate listings from other marketplaces. Number 4, you can create your own subdomain. You can also host NFT mints directly on your store. And then in closing, you can earn money with each NFT sold directly on your platform. Now, this is just the beginning for this team. They've also recently integrated JED, and they've also implemented some blacklisting, whitelisting, and just additional features which I've covered as a part of my prior update. So congratulations to Patrick and his team continuing to push the NFT space forward as we continue to grow within Cardano. Now, as a part of the last story here for today's Cardano Scoop, I want to touch on the Eternl wallet and some key milestones and design concepts that they're releasing to the community. So the first thing I want to touch on is going to be the fact that they now have over 100,000 Chrome extension installations worldwide. This is one of the first wallets that came online, and it's probably one of the most supported wallets right behind the Nami wallet. However, there has been some complaints in the community surrounding the fact that it is a little bit difficult to use if you're a newcomer in the ecosystem. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're looking to be a little bit more technical and you want the flexibility to do more things than just the Nami wallet can provide, then this is a good option for you to check out. Now, over the course of the past few weeks, they've basically been releasing some concepts here or designs for their mobile wallet and their desktop browser. Now, the reason why is, again, because some people have mentioned that it is a little bit difficult to use. And if they're looking to be adopted long-term, they will have to kind of confine to not only being available for hardcore users, but they also want to make sure that they're available for brand new users coming into the ecosystem. So here we have 3 screenshots here. On the left, it looks like we just got like a front page where we can see assets received, we can see our main wallet balance, and we can kind of jump between different sections and send and receive as well. Now, one cool feature here that I'm noticing is a swap button. So we'll probably be able to swap for tokens or assets directly within the wallet, but it'll be interesting to see who they decide to leverage for those in-house swaps. For example, we have the Giro wallet, which I believe has a DEX aggregator, which looks for the best prices between the top DEXs on Cardano, which include Muesli Swap, Sunday Swap, Min Swap, and Wing Riders. Now, as a part of the second screenshot here, we have their menu, which includes a Dapp browser, which is a pretty cool feature here, which I think we'll also be getting within the Lace wallet, which was just released by IOG that we talked about there earlier. And they've got an NFT list. We got a staking feature, which both of these are pretty common. We've then got a voting tab, which I don't think has been supported by anybody else just yet. And I'm wondering if this is going to be like on-chain voting and exactly for what. Now, we've then got a UTXO list, which is probably going to be something similar to our transaction history, or potentially viewing which UTXOs are currently managed within the wallet. We've got an app settings page and then a transaction builder. In closing here, we can see some of our staking information. We can see some of the stake pools here and then exactly how many rewards we're earning. The very last screenshot I want to review for today's video is going to be the fact that we're not going to get a very similar overview here, but this will be for the desktop dashboard. So again, we've got our overview, we've got our settings or main sections that we can select there for navigation. We've got our rewards here for our ADA staking. We can see some different charts, and then we've got some rewards history and then some stake pools there. So pretty awesome updates again there, really wanting to touch on what the Eternl team continues to bring to the space in terms of value. That's going to do it for today's Cardano Scoop update, in which we've talked about upcoming Cardano events, which include the Cardano Summit, the Blockchain for Social Impact Seminar, as well as the rebrand of CNFTCon to NFT LV. And then we also talked about the recent episode of Cardano 360. Following that, we touched on the ADA handle roadmap, as well as the NMKR custom marketplace feature in the Eternl redesign and their brand new 100,000 installation milestone. If you guys found today's video to be helpful or insightful in any way, shape, or form, again, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. It helps to really get this content out to other members within the community. That said, if you guys want more content just like this, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions for me about anything that we touched on today, then make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.